So, if you've seen the title and thumbnail of this video, you know things have gotten pretty bad. Basically, episode 9 of the Digital Circus has gotten leaked. It's a genuinely awful situation, so I'm going to present the facts of the situation and how fans can avoid the leaks. This video will be leak and spoiler free obviously, but I'll give a bit of context and then give some of my thoughts after. I'll also just be cycling b-roll in the background. I'm not going to show screenshots or anything obviously. Also, if the tone of my voice sounds tense, it's because I'm annoyed and frustrated. I'm going to have to break character here. So, I've covered this before, but episode 9 of the Digital Circus is coming to cinemas in a few weeks. Today, over on Twitter, a situation unfolded where news of a leak of episode 9 started to spread. Fans were obviously a bit skeptical, especially since the accounts posting about it were being quite vague. Well, it turned out they were actually correct. Episode 9 got leaked. So, the timeline of events is a little sketchy, but the entirety of the Brazilian dub of episode 9 got leaked somehow. People have theorised that someone working on the dub was hacked, or downloaded malware or something along those lines. However, episode 9 was leaked. Clips of it have now started to spread. They're on Twitter, TikTok and YouTube at the moment. I'm a bit ahead of the curve now because not everyone has seen them, but by tomorrow they will be everywhere. So far, it's about 5 or 6 clips. They showcase a couple important plot points, including the show's ending. But since the original leaker has the full episode, it could drop at any moment, which is extremely scary. So if you don't want spoiled, you need to be really careful when browsing Twitter especially. These websites take a while for DMCA requests to go through. Glitch is going to take these leaks down. However, it might take upwards of 12 hours to over a day for them to get removed. They'll also just pop up again regardless. So if you don't want leaked, be extra diligent when browsing, and don't go out and search for the leaks because they will pop up and you will get spoiled. So I have a bunch of thoughts about this. Firstly, it really sucks to say this, but I think a lot of people saw this coming. I mentioned it in my original video, and I remember people getting upset at me in the comments. The exact same thing happened to Hazbin Hotel. Hazbin Hotel going to streaming platforms caused it to get leaked, and as we can see here, it's happened to the Digital Circus. Myself and a lot of people brought up the pros and cons of episode 9 releasing in cinemas, and the main one was that the show would get leaked and spoiled, which has now happened. The thing is as well, as the people who didn't have access to the finale or couldn't afford to see it in cinemas were going to have to wait 2 weeks and get spoiled. However, now everyone has. It's over. From memory, with past episodes of the Digital Circus, basically nothing was leaked, because the only way it could get leaked was if it came from an employee. But with it coming to cinemas, it opens up a bunch of eyes to it. It has to be sent to these outside companies and distributors to check it through and verify what age it's suitable for. It's really sad because in Glitch's statement a bit ago, they talked about this exact thing, how they were trying their best to stop leaks and were being really careful. Obviously it wasn't enough, but it's just such a terrible situation, it genuinely sucks. Gooseworks posted about working late nights on the finale, and now it feels like all that hard work has been wasted. The main thing here is that it's completely destroyed the ending. Even if the leaks themselves are taken down, it's now spread into the consciousness of fans. The exact events that happen will spread via word of mouth. Fan theories etc. will just be wrecked because of this. So overall, the situation is extremely sad. I had a feeling some leaks would happen, but I didn't expect episode 9 to get spoiled multiple weeks before it comes out in cinemas. It's also extremely frustrating because we've been following along this show for 3 years now, since its pilot, and now the big payoff is just ruined. It's also a huge slap in the face to the team who's worked hard on the show, but also anyone who bought tickets to see the finale in cinemas. So that's everything. If you have any thoughts on what happened, I'd love for you to leave them in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching.